What's going on, movie fans? My name is Michael Weer. I love talking about movies, and that's what we're going to do here today. We're just going to do it a little differently because today, instead of giving you one movie in my movie review video, I'm going to give you 3 movies in this video. And it's something that I wanted to try out in 2024. I wanted to find a weekend where there was a couple of movies that were lower profile that I could watch, do quick reactions for, and then do one video for all of them and see if you guys like that. If you do, let me know in the comment section down below. The 3 movies we're going to be talking about here today are Madam Web, Land of Bad, and Suncoast. I know technically Madam Web's not low profile, but we all know it's terrible, and I don't want to create a video where I'm just dunking on it for 10 minutes straight. With that said, I'm excited to review all 3 of these movies right here today. If you have seen these movies and you've got thoughts and you've got comments, throw that in the comment section down below. Let me know where we agree or disagree. And now, let's review Madam Web.
You have to trust me.
Get ready. Now!
So Madam Web is the newest Sony-released Spider-Verse adjacent movie where it doesn't really feature Spider-Man. They're going to talk about spiders, and there's going to be someone from Spider-Man's history that is in the movie, because that's what Sony does for whatever reason. So we get Madam Web. Now, Madam Web feels like a movie that was put out by Sony so that they would retain the rights to Spider-Man. That's what it feels like. And it's weird because I don't feel like that should be the case, because they have Kraven the Hunter coming, they have Venom coming. This is a movie that I don't know how it was greenlit. Once the script was written, once it was filmed, I don't know how they were like, yeah, we're still going to put this movie out, because there's nothing really redeemable about this movie. There is a case to make that there is one positive for this movie, and that is that it is so bad that it's actually funny, because it is very unintentionally funny throughout. I still just don't feel like that should be a positive. And like I said before, I could continue dunking on this movie, but I'll just touch on a few negatives and then we'll move on. First of all, the acting in this movie feels robotic. It really does. I don't know what's up with Dakota Johnson. Her acting is just not for me, and it's always the exact same way. She has a moment in this movie where they're running from the villain in this warehouse, and as she's running and all these things are going off, she just goes, "When I say now, you need to get down. Now." And it was like, that's not a green screen. It was so bad that it was sort of funny, but again, that doesn't make it good. Overall, this movie was all over the place. It was wildly unwatchable. The villain in this movie is a travesty to villains everywhere. I want nothing to do with Madam Web. No doubt in my mind, this will be bottom 10 of the entire year.
Protecting the men and women who serve this country.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Land of Bad is a lone survivor style war movie starring Liam Hemsworth, who plays a Black Ops soldier who goes with a Black Ops team into the jungles to try and rescue someone, and their team gets exposed and shot up, and eventually he is the only one left and has to find his way to safety. Now, this isn't a brand new plot. This is something we've seen done in movies so many times before, but I feel like what makes this movie actually stand out and feel unique is Russell Crowe's character. And Russell Crowe's character is a member of the military who flies drones over these special ops missions to keep them safe. They have several missiles on them. If they need extra surveillance, he's there for them. And the movie does a good job keeping it tense, because while he's so many miles away, safe in a base, he's so worried about Liam Hemsworth on the ground below. He tries to watch him throughout this movie and guide him around soldiers, or maybe even through the thick of it, but just letting him know where the enemies are at on which side. Again, the movie has tension. The movie has so much heart. I had a great time with this movie. It's a great action film. We've actually gotten 2 great action films so far this year. I feel like it's a good start for action in 2024. The only negative I have for this movie is that it goes on a little too long. I felt like the third act really ramped up the action. It really ramped up the tension, and that's what it was building toward, and it worked for me. I was edge of my seat for most of that third act, had a great time with it. But then when things finally calm down in the movie, it goes back to Russell Crowe at the military base, and it just goes on a little too long with a side plot between him and a girl that's in his unit, and she's trying to ask him to walk her down the aisle for her wedding. And again, it just goes on a little too long. I remember like, okay, the movie's over. We should be walking out. So that's my only negative. Overall, had a great time with it. I would highly recommend you check out Land of Bad.
We're gonna have fun again, you and me. I'll learn how to be fun again.
Doris, old lady's name.
It was my grandma's name.
Oh,
She died the day I was born.
My God, is there any conversation with you that is not like thoroughly depressing to me?
Final movie to talk about is Suncoast, and Suncoast is a movie that went directly to Hulu. I had no idea it was coming out, and a user named Countryboy626, who's been interacting with me for the past year on movies here on this channel, told me, hey, you got to check this one out. There's a lot of heart in this movie. I highly recommend it. So I checked this movie out on Hulu, and I also highly recommend it to all of you. It is a movie that deals with a lot of heartbreak, but it is also very heartfelt. It's a story about a teenage girl played by an actress named Nico Parker who just knocks it out of the park with her performance, and she is dealing with the fact that her brother is currently dying from brain cancer. The movie also stars Laura Linney as the mom of these two kids, and it stars Woody Harrelson as a man who is there at the hospital for different reasons, but I don't really want to go into those reasons here in this video. And Woody Harrelson's character does a great job portraying to the audience what we're feeling about these characters, something that I feel like isn't always handled well when you're dealing with such dark and depressing tones, but somehow Woody Harrelson does a great job sort of bridging the gap for the audience and the characters in this movie. Suncoast is another movie that I feel like goes on a little too long, but it's a movie that's currently streaming, and I feel like you could pause it if you're getting that way. You could get up, walk away, come back to it, and when you're dealing with sensitive topics, you do need to take your time with it. It's also based on a true story, and that's, heartbreaking in and of itself. I do recommend Suncoast, but be advised, it does deal with some dark issues. That said, though, guys, those are the three movies that I wanted to talk about here today. Madam Web, totally ignore it. Don't watch it. Don't even, if it streams somewhere one day, don't do yourself the disservice. Just stay away. The Land of Bad is a movie that I highly recommend you check out on the biggest screen possible, and you should check it out immediately. And Suncoast is a movie currently streaming on Hulu. You should also check that one out whenever you get a chance. Guys, those are my thoughts on Suncoast, Land of Bad, and Madam Web. If you've got thoughts, if you've got comments, let me know in the comment section down below. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, make sure you do that, because I have a ton of content coming your way, including a couple more reviews before next weekend when we get Dune Part 2. Very excited about that. Finally, guys, if you like this video and you want to watch more, don't forget to hit the like button, because it helps the video, it helps the channel, and it helps me right here. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. All right, guys, we got to the end of my first ever rapid fire movie review. That's what I'm calling it, at least, because I give you three very fast, and I want to know your thoughts on them. But check out what I got the other day. I got a Pac-Man arcade machine. It's really cool. I'll put a picture of it right there so it's easier to see as well. It's really cool, and it took me about 3 hours in total to set it up, but it was worth it. That said, though, guys, if you like this content and you want to watch more, well, I've got all of my 2023 movie reviews right there, and all of my 2024 movie reviews right there.